Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Endless Babble Z E3 2016 impressions for Sony's amazing press conference at E3. I'm taking Master, joined by
RPG Maniac 05.
Trioptical.
And Gamer 12.
Alright, so, do you want to cover the stuff they talked about in the pre-show? Because there was some stuff in the pre-show too, but we can just skip to the press conference.
I didn't watch it. My stream was like janking up at the beginning.
Yeah, I missed most of the pre-show because I was doing other things. What did they show? I saw like Abzu.
Yeah, Abzu, Bound, Hawken, Pyre, Eagle Flight, Watch Dogs 2, and then they were going to show some Infinite Warfare stuff, but they didn't. Or at least it was almost time to go to like the conference, and I switched to like the YouTube channel because I was like, well, I don't want to miss it. So because I didn't know if it was going to switch on time, and I was like on a different channel, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna, because I haven't had any like issues on that stream, so I was like, I'm just gonna switch to the one that's been working for me. So I'm not sure if they showed it or not before the Sony one actually started.
They didn't. It never played, and they just went straight to the conference. So yeah, Abzu I guess got a release date October or
It's August 2nd, 2016.
August 2nd.
Yeah.
Was Hawken? That was never announced before, right? So that's a new announcement.
Yeah, it's like I
for
completely forgot
PS4?
that game existed when
Yeah.
they were showing. I was like, oh,
I played it like twice on PC.
I didn't even know I ever had it on PC. So that was weird.
Yeah, it was okay.
Back in the day, it was like the prime example that people would point to for like amazing looking games made by like one or two people. Of course, that was, man, I was working at the time, so like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
It was a while ago because I was like, wow, I forgot
Yeah,
about
it was
this
a while
game.
ago.
And I was like, I can't wait to play it though because it's a sweet, hot mecha action game. Delicious. In first person.
RPG accepts no substitutes.
Darn. I do not. I do not.
It's the closest thing you'll ever get to Armored Core RPG.
It's kind of similar, actually.
But it's not the same.
Less hardcore, I think.
Sigh.
And then they started the show and like they were actually in a theater and there's a actual orchestra, and I gotta say, dude, I think that's gotta be like the new thing of like every year they have to have the orchestra there because it's like that just upped it like a whole notch. Like every time they had like a presentation of just like the music was just like on point. It's just like so good and like even more dramatic. It's like, oh, it's like good.
Well, what was crazy was like it wasn't just for one thing. You would think it's like, oh, they're gonna play this thing, and then basically they're done, and and then maybe they'll do some stuff later. But it was like
throughout the whole show.
And was it everything? I think there was some parts that were just from the trailers, right?
There's some techno things and some games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was just played live.
Especially the Star Wars stuff, because like that just like invokes emotion. It like like actual instruments playing that. It's like even better than like the pre-recorded. It's just like oh.
It was insane. It was like, this is what's happening.
And it was like funny too, because like I was like when they like were playing the first song before like the actual game came out, I was like, this sounds very God of War-y. Are we gonna see God of War? And I was like,
yeah.
But I was like, no way. And that was the first game, God of War, no release date though. But
that was like a really good. Like, I mean, they did really well with not getting that leaked because that was like unexpected. But
well, that leak happened with the artwork and the look of Kratos.
Oh yeah, it happened earlier in the year.
Yeah,
I didn't see it, so no.
But it only leaked how the game looked. It never leaked what the game is looking like now. It's like it's totally different from what you've always anticipated to be God of War.
He was not using the Blades of Chaos
or
whatever they're called at this point, because I know he's like gone through like multiple iterations of them. So
and also, like behind the back,
trolls are not Greek. That's not.
He had a rune axe of some sort.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Like, so first of all, like fixed camera angles were gone. It was an over-the-shoulder camera.
Yeah, it felt very Last of Us to me, because like you had a child companion with you. I was like,
yeah,
is this where we're going with this? Is this what we're doing? Is it going to be like that? Is Kratos going to be like do something like super terrible at the end? I'm going to hate him.
When I first saw it, I was like, are they showing Horizon again? That's kind of lame.
I know, I did too. I was like, Horizon. That's a weird thing to start off with. But then when he comes out of the shadows, it's like, oh, that was
He's kind of a mean father, though. It's like the kid looks like he can't be much older than like 8 or something. He's like, "Hey, how can't you kill things yet? What's wrong with you?"
Kratos is a
Like,
very
Wait, so
angry
the
person.
kid kept calling him father,
Yeah,
right?
he did.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And Kratos was like
He's like-
referencing his mom, so
is like Artemis's mom or something? Because I mean, they kept mentioning that she taught him how to hunt and everything, but I mean, I can only assume it's like another
Artemis, you
god.
think?
Possibly, I would think would be unless
Huh.
she
Yeah, I guess we never saw Artemis in the games, did we?
because I guess she's like one of the few he hasn't like violently murdered. So
That we know of.
yeah. Because I mean,
yeah,
and
the whole
obviously he
thing-
ran out of gods because they moved on to Norse mythology, so they were like,
Yeah.
"Yep, we ran out of up the kill." So
But it seemed very different. You know, like God of War is a certain type of action game until now where like even the action itself looked very different from the original God of War games. It wasn't sort of this combo heavy, very frenetic, or not frenetic, but like very kinetic, I guess, type of combat where it's like rolling around, dodge rolling a lot,
it seemed more
without
focused.
chains and stuff. Yeah, it seemed. Yeah, I guess the Last of Us comparison is pretty apt. It felt kind of like that, except with like giant beasts.
and then like the crowd reacting like to everything, like when he pulled his axe out, it's like oh, like just the crowd
No, I
reactions
was
was great too.
I was like,
Like
guys, calm down.
Mjolnir.
It's like, calm down. It's like, oh my god, look at that bush in the corner. Oh my god. It's like, yes. I mean, yes, it looks nice, but let's calm down. Like,
But yeah,
You
it was
played God of-
actually very confusing watching it. It was like, okay, so what is happening here? Like, that's Kratos. The last time we saw him, he died, right? Now he looks older, I think.
spoilers.
And-
I played 3.
And you know, so there's
Well, then
just,
at the end of
and then
the
the
demo,
shot
it's
at
like
the end.
they show Olympus Mountain, I guess, or Mount Olympus. I'm guessing it's like new adventures await, lightning clashing or crashing, and some dragon
Talking about
flying
a
in.
new
Ooh.
beginning.
I don't think that was Mount Olympus.
You never know.
There's nothing left on Mount Olympus for him. Like there's nothing left. Like he's killed everyone.
But it did look like that ocean scene in God of War 3. Like I think actually sort of throughout this entire press conference it was very little exposition. It was all like the game speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And you'll find out presumably more later.
Which I mean is kind of how it should be, unless because I mean like even when they were showing them, it's like they did the demos without like having like a 2-hour explanation
Mhm.
before said demo, and like okay, now we're going to show you gameplay.
Yeah.
It's like, have this, enjoy. We'll be back in an hour.
It's just sort of neat to like think about, you know, before I think Microsoft was the first to do it. They before Microsoft did that 1 year where it's like, oh, we're just going to show gameplay, and they had like a person come up, talk about the game, and then play it, and then they did that over and over for many games. Before that, it was like, oh, this was our best year. We sold this many. And there was like charts and stuff, and then there was like lots of talking. And then we got to this point. I think this is maybe the next evolution. Now, like that was pure entertainment. There was very little talk. We had very little idea about what was happening in a lot of the games, or like the context and why this game is interesting, like they usually do. It was just like, here it is, we're playing it. Here it is, we're playing
Yeah,
it.
it was like gameplay, title, release date if a game has it, and then like just go to the next one. It was great.
Yeah, it was kind of amazing.
And speaking of on to the next one, Days Gone. This game was very like at first I thought it was like a Last of Us 2, and I was like, no, please don't be it. But now I'm thinking like it's possible. It's like just a game in that universe. But then it's like actually looking at it, like when they showed it at the end, it's like I guess it can't be because there's
Yeah,
no
it's not.
tickers. It's just zombies, which is pretty nuts though because the amount
I don't know
of
if those
enemies
were
on
zombies,
screen
'cause
or some
those
sort of infected
didn't
slash
move like
undead
zombies.
humanoid creatures. especially like the weird feral, not uteruses,
No, oh dear.
the weird feral,
Oh my.
infant ones.
Children.
Those.
Gollum.
They kind of look like, yeah, I'm about to say they look like that Lord of the Rings thing.
I mean, there was only one.
Let's see. Oh yeah, but they showed like a trailer of that, and then no release date for that. It looked good, and they showed more at the end. We'll get to it, but yeah.
What I thought it was.
I thought it was just a normal motorcycle gang game. Like,
what I
there's
thought it
emotion.
was like, sometimes Bend is the studio that does follow-ups that the main studio doesn't want to do. So it was like they were gonna make a Last of Us game, but it was like, oh, it's not. It's something totally, or not totally different, but different universe.
Then after that, Last Guardian, I was pumped. I was like, oh yeah, I thought they're going to show more than they did, but whatever, we got a release date, October 25th, 2016. Yes! Yes! Finally something this year to look forward
October
to.
is stacked,
Why
man.
so
Finally
bad?
something this year to look forward to. And
They
it's in
could've
the
chosen
VR
the
month. It's in
other
VR
month.
month. That's the new name for October is like VR month, because like everything is coming out in October for some reason. And also PlayStation VR is coming up out in that month. So it's like, hey guys, I don't have enough money for this. October is going to be a problem, so thanks. Thanks a lot.
I mean, they're giving you time to start saving up, you know?
Gamer, did you read the IGN first stuff about Last Guardian?
No, I'm a total blackout. I'm
Okay.
just not reading anything yet.
I read it, and I was sort of like, oh, I wish I didn't read that. And so it was really cool to see this trailer, like, didn't show, like, we didn't see anything.
Why did they like
And
spoil something?
that's
in
all
the-
I can say. Yeah, no,
Okay.
there was a thing that they said in the IGN first thing where it was like, I'm not gonna say, like, stuff happened
Yeah.
in my brain, and I was like, oh, I wish I didn't read that. And then this was like, oh, that they didn't do anything like that in this trailer. It's like, oh, that's awesome.
Interesting. Now I'm curious. I wonder if I could beat it fast enough before World of Final Fantasy comes out. This is gonna be. It's gonna be a rough rest of the year for me, guys.
That's a bad month, man. Jeez, two
No.
shooters. That
Ridiculous.
game. World of Final Fantasy. Damn.
And then the next game, Horizon Zero Dawn, looks
Oh
good.
my gosh!
Every
I
time
was,
they show
like,
it, it looks
so
better and
excited
better.
for this.
And I was like, dude, I'm
Like,
pre-ordering
we-
this. I'm pre-ordering this. I don't even care. I don't even care if it's like before the week. It's like I'm pre-ordering this game because it looks.
And it's like
So good.
open world. Oh,
It's like
oh my
every time I
God.
see, I'm like, it's like Princess Mononoke, like dinosaur robot edition. Because it's like I'm going beyond the thingy to find the like forest spirit that cures us of all this robot evilness. It's like, oh. And she was riding one too this time. I was like,
I know.
It's
She
like,
got a
oh.
mouth. I was like, oh my gosh, can you tame other stuff? Can you tame other stuff? Because
You just need
giant
to
T-Rex.
upgrade your hacking skills.
Yeah.
Like I'm like every time they show it, I'm just like, this is just getting better and better right the second. Like I can't not do this. It's like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Like, two things on this one. Like, so a previous podcast I said we don't need to see this game anymore because we're already sold on it. But actually, I guess today's look at it gave us a much better picture of what the game is. I mean, it had dialogue. You were like, there were NPCs, and you went over and talked to them. It's like, I didn't know that was in there. And then like showing sort of the variety of things that you can acquire from these robot dinosaurs, including getting a mount. And it's like, okay, maybe we can stand to see more of it. That was awesome.
Not to mention all the different types of weapons and traps and stuff too. So it
Yeah,
wasn't just
yeah.
like her bow and
'Cause,
arrow
like, the
from
first
like
time
the
she
first
had it,
shot.
she used the same gadgets, but it was to like trip the
Yeah.
giant creature thingy. And this time
Yep.
she had to like do a similar thing, but then like set it on fire. 'Cause she's like, oh, it's like pulled out her thingy that like I guess analyzes it and tells you the weakness. It's like, oh, it's weak to
Yep.
fire, and pull up my fire bows, just lock it down, and then be like, pew, 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 and stab it in the head. Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like because I've been waiting for like a PS4 or next gen or current gen Monster Hunter game, and this is it. Because like Because it's so cool. So cool.
It's
Just
like
using different weaknesses and strengths. Yeah.
This kind of, I don't know,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like more of like a Zelda game because it's like every enemy has a weakness that you have to exploit, and then you just like get the resources to like craft your stuff. I mean, like I guess
Yeah.
that mechanic of like crafting makes it more like Monster Hunter, but, or I guess the giant monsters also make it like Monster Hunter, so maybe it's like a bit of both. But just like the
people are saying it's like kind of like The Witcher, sort of.
Oh, I haven't played The Witcher, so I don't know.
either.
The Witcher, you just kill stuff.
Hmm.
Oh,
But sort of like open world and sort of a RPG-esque element to it, and then you
hunting
got
monsters.
Yeah.
sort of complicated, understanding of the enemies that you have to face.
Yeah, you could say that.
Exclusive Witcher.
Also, they didn't like shove it down your throat that these games are like exclusive or anything.
Yeah.
It's like every single game is like, by the way, this is also just like because oh my gosh.
I mean, I guess it was all sort of like classy, I guess. The only way you knew that they were exclusive was they started with Sony Interactive Entertainment. It's like, well, who else, like, where else could it
Guess
appear?
can't go anywhere else then.
And that is always, it's like white font on a black background. It's like, yeah.
Like an announcer going exclusive to Sony PlayStation. Exclusive.
Yeah, that was
It's like,
getting annoying at
premiere.
that Microsoft conference for sure.
Or Windows 10 and PlayStation.
God. It's like so. That was like so irritating. It's like, okay, I get it, guys, I get it.
All right, and then we
Yes.
had Detroit Become Human, which I think is separate from Detroit. I think this is just like a slice of that game to like get.
It's the game.
What? No
Pretty
way.
sure that's the game.
No way,
That's
dude.
the
Like,
game's title. That's the game's title. Detroit Becoming Human.
But what happened to Korra? Where'd she
think
go?
it was
These
like,
are stories. Yeah.
Yeah, like Heavy
Separate
Rain, where
stories.
you had different
Oh,
characters.
okay. So this is just like one
This
part.
looked amazing. Like
It
Yeah.
did, dude.
for me, this was like,
This was like
oh
my
my
game.
god.
I saw this.
This was game
I
of the
was, like,
show.
tweeting, I was
For,
like,
or
yes,
game
this
of
is Detroit.
PlayStation show for sure.
I'm gonna lose it. And like, but then they didn't have a date. I was like, oh man, because like it had like so many choices and consequences. It's like they upped their game.
Variations, man. Oh my god. Like out the wazoo.
Oh
was
my
kinda
gosh,
cool.
especially like the one like where he shoots you. I was like, holy crap, that was like
Yeah, it blew my
that
mind.
that was like wow, just man, like jeez, cannot wait. Quantic Dream.
It kind of looks cool because like it looks like it's gonna be like part investigative,
Yeah.
part like you.
Because like
I
it,
guess
it goes like worst case. It like shows you like the first one is like worst case scenario, and then it's like, well, if you would have like stopped to look at the environment before you engaged the android, look at all the clues. Things could have been
you would
different.
have been able to avoid this. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
You change your thing, like even from those small variations, like they trigger some other tree that you could just branch off of, and then that branches off as well. It's like, oh
Yep.
my god, that's
Yeah, because even
unbelievably
in like
crazy.
the tree thing, they showed like things where like if you looked closely, they were talking about stuff like wrong choice or like bad timing or stuff like that for like all the branches and everything. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm guessing there's gonna be like a bunch of different. It's gonna like turn out differently for everybody in some way, shape, or form. So I think this is probably like what they intended the previous two games to be like, but
Yeah.
we're limited based on the hardware.
Well,
And
it's a
time
nice,
and
it's a
ambition.
nice, it's a nice evolution, from what
Yep.
they were building upon.
Because
So I
like
might actually
man.
like this one.
the intensity of that scene that they showed us, if that doesn't need to be attached to other stuff, like, because Heavy Rain was basically one story,
Yeah.
And if this is just like short stories, then they can do like
Ooh,
really,
yeah.
really tightly, crafted and just like tons of multiple different branches of how it could go. Like thinking about it, it's like, oh my gosh, that was
Like thinking about like because like Tekken likes to like 100% these things. Like how the
Not
how
gonna
they
be
try to
able to
figure
do
out
that now.
Be on an
entire-
OCD level of, well, this time I need to get this thing, but not that thing, and it's like, yeah, I need like a
Like this
checklist,
time,
yeah.
a spreadsheet.
like okay, so wash my hands in this playthrough, and then I look in the mirror. And this one, like it's gonna be odd to see him try to get through all of them.
But yeah, it was very cool. I like how they did it so it seemed like, oh, this is a cutscene, and they just did it all the way through as a cutscene, and then they went back and say, oh, but it could have played this differently, and then you saw the like gameplay interfaces and like the button prompts and stuff. Like, oh, wow.
Spoiler alert, guys! All my playthroughs are just gonna be everyone getting shot everywhere. That's pretty much how my game's gonna go. Detroit's gonna be a very violent place. It's gonna be a very violent place.
And it'll be like interesting because when did Beyond Two Souls come out? Was that before Walking Dead Season 2?
The game?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Because it seems like it's like,
2013?
I think so.
because to me it's like the Telltale games and like the Quantum Dream games are like very like analogous to each other, but like they're very different. So it's like going to be like really cool to like play a Quantum Dream game when like Telltale's like at their peak. It's like 'cause, like they've just been like on fire. So it's like to see like the compare it like between the two, and then people play both ones and be like, oh well, I guess there's something to this having a choice in games, and it is actually a game, and I'm not going to keep saying it's not a game because whatever, F them. So yeah.
So, in that regard, it's like the Walking Dead games, like they're kind of limited too, so they would be closer to like I guess like Heavy Rain or Beyond, because it's like even though it makes it seem like you can make choices and stuff in the Walking Dead, it's like most of it's pretty much just like there's a conclusion of where they're going with everything. There's no like real like different outcomes, so it's a bit different.
And then we had the seen it on Twitter, but didn't. We saw the gameplay, and it's like I wouldn't think this was this game. And then when you saw the logo, it's like holy balls. It was it was very PT-esque, and I was like, oh, this is PTVR because they said it's a VR game. I was like, okay, whatever. And then just some dude walking around some creepy spaces and some creepy building, looking through doors, opening pots with roaches on them, and be like, oh, get off me. And mannequins, creepy effing mannequins. Yeah.
Wait, so this was also a very like confusing trailer. It started
it was.
by saying it's full VR experience, and then said before Kitchen. Now, Kitchen is the sort of horror experience that Capcom has been showing off.
Yeah.
With
So it seemed like
PlayStation
Kitchen
VR. Yeah, so it was like, oh,
Resident
is this? So that, oh man. And then at some point, like the first person perspective stuff like cut, and then it went to
It picks up
a
a
lot of
videotape,
other
and it puts it
stuff.
on this like TV, and it just like shows all this weird stuff. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
They're going back to their roots, guys.
And then
We talked about it, and they're doing it.
Yeah, and then like the logo like splashes on screen, and it says like Resident Evil in all caps. So you have like the VII, so it's like 7, and then it says Biohazard 2. So that was cool. I was like, man,
That was really cool.
And it said January 24th, 2017. So that's also next year. So
Yeah.
And very
just
early
adding
next
to the
year, no
list.
less. So
yeah. Something to buy for VR
the
next
demo's
year.
out like right now. Apparently,
There's a demo.
you can demo
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 right now.
I don't
Is
know
it?
if I'm ready
I'm
for
trying
that.
to find it. It's not there.
Oh, well, I know because during the conference they said it's available now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe the
VR
store's,
from
like,
beginning
broken.
to end. Like, what do you think that's going to be like?
It's gonna be like
Intense.
that.
I think
It's gonna be first person?
your prediction of someone's going to die might come true because yeah.
Someone's going to die. in
Yeah.
I
VR.
was scared watching it, and I was like, "This is just a stream. I don't even want to play this game."
Because when you're in VR, you can't escape.
It's true. I
But
mean,
you
you
put
could
up your
just, like,
hands,
rip
but the screen is
headset
right
off,
there
but-
on your face. No
There
blocking.
needs to be like an escape button, or someone is going to die. Like you have to be able to push a button,
Panic button.
and then it's like all flowery and nice, and like you're in a sunny place, and then you can
Going to my happy
No.
place. I'm going to my happy place.
the happy place
bunnies
button.
and flowers.
That's
and
what it
stuff.
needs.
They should put a panic button on the controller,
Yeah,
or
you need a
or you can
panic
have like a
button.
safe word. It's like the safe word is coconuts. It's coconuts. Yeah. That is interesting. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of the series, but it's like I know a lot of people were hoping they'd finally get back to
Yeah, it's like
the horror.
they've been saying they've been going back to
so,
their roots or whatever, but like I didn't think they were going to go that far back.
we're all in on this, guys. We're all in on this.
That's so scary. I don't want to play it. Territory.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, it's like, I don't think I can play this. And then it was Resident Evil 7. It's like, well, I do want to play it, but I still don't think I can play this.
Well, that's a problem because it's like I don't really like the series, but like I'd like to watch somebody playing it, but I don't really like Resident Evil except for like watching the movies. So it's like I would need to see somebody playing it because I'm terrible at shooters anyway. But it's yeah. I
Maybe if I stream it, it'll be less like
I doubt that's the case, job.
tense.
People have been, we've been getting more and more actiony as it's gone on, but we went back. We cut out all the action. The only action is going to be you getting killed. So have fun with that.
Stream it and party chat with like 7 other people while you're playing it.
And then we had the PlayStation VR section, and then we got the date, which is October 13th, 2016, and the price, which we already knew, $3.99. 50 games, ready to go. So
From launch till the end of the year.
that'll be a fun time. Because there's not enough games in October. ... So
well, I mean, I guess it depends
guess we'll see
on
how much they cost.
like,
Yeah, 'cause we still don't know.
what they define as a game as well. Because it's like there could be like these little time wasters, and then there's like larger ones, like
Yeah.
the ones
Like
they were
Resident
showing
Evil.
off. Yeah. So.
Because that's been their message to developers. They've been saying, don't focus on making a giant VR experience. Make these small ones. Because if you focus on making a giant one, it's going to be years before it comes out. And by the time it comes out, like other people have done the small experiments, and the novelty that you spent years working on is just it's all been spoiled already.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, it's sort of surprising to me that Resident Evil 7 is fully VR from beginning to end.
I mean, I'm assuming if you choose to do that, I mean,
Right. Like, yeah, it has a standard picture on the wall style as well.
Picture on the
i.e., playing it like a normal video game.
Yep.
Oh man. Then the first VR game they showed was Farpoint. Which one was this one? I don't remember.
I think that was the space one, wasn't it?
Space
Oh
One.
yeah, the Mars one.
The one-
That was
The
the
one
Mars
where
one.
I was like, yeah.
So I was like, depending on how this goes, this could be the one for me because I'm all about that space exploration. But then it got weird. Stuff went down. It wasn't as intense as like creepy Resident Evil stuff though, so I could totally handle that. It was just a matter of like disaster. So
I think this one, I think it was like an E3 or 2 ago when they first were about to reveal Morpheus. There was like a Wired article, like some press got to see this game where the developer had made like a modified move sharpshooter, and then they were running around with the sharpshooter in VR, and they said like it worked really well because like the landscape was all alien, and part of the reason like people get sick in VR is because like movement, like the speed of the movement or something like that, and in an alien environment, because a lot of you don't know the scale of things, like people didn't get that type of motion sickness, and they're saying like this sort of shooter control using this like physical gun shaped thing like worked really well in this game. And I think this is that one because of the way that they were showing like he was looking at the rifle and stuff in his hands. No one saw that article?
nope.
All right. Never
I
mind.
did.
You saw it, right? Dude,
Yep.
this seemed like that game.
Aiming down the gun. Yeah, the way they were aiming the gun in the
Yeah.
trailer it seemed like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they showed the closest thing I'll be getting to Rogue Squadron for who knows how long. 'Cause 2018 guys, 2018. It'll be a while before they can put like an A team on a sweet Star Wars vehicle combat game that's not VR. But hey, I'll take what I can get. Especially if it's less than $60. Fingers crossed. Please be less than $60. So Star Wars
Hope
Battlefront.
it comes free with
X-Wing.
Battlefront.
That's what I was. That was the other thing. I was
We already
like, why
paid our
can't this be
$60.
free for people that have bought Battlefront because that game is effing terrible. It's effing garbage. But I was super happy because I was like, yep, you're in the X-wing, and then you see the Star Destroyers come in. You got the freighters from the Rebellion side. It's like, oh yeah, space battle.
Looking around the cockpit.
Yep.
So cool.
I was like, this is the types of VR games I will enjoy. Because Wing Commander, Colony Wars, Darklight Conflict, Rogue Squadron. Who cares about those games? Like we don't need to make more games like that. Let's just forget they ever existed and make shooters and RPGs, whatever. Let the space combat genre just die. Ugh. But now they're back. Yes. So more of them, please.
Space battles.
And then Batman Arkham VR, which is only on PlayStation, October 2016. That was interesting because I knew Mark Hamill's Joker, so I was like, Batman VR ?
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be Batman. I was like, but that'd been like even weirder if you were the Joker though. So I'm glad it's Batman. So I'm like, I'm wondering if it's like detective mode type thing where you're just like going down like around Arkham, solving stuff or hunting down clues or something. I guess we'll see. Because it's like I don't think they're gonna do the combat. That would be a bit too intense.
Yeah.
Or just
it's
weird.
very hard to say what
Hard to do.
that's gonna be like.
Guess we'll find out.
But it's
Like
Rocksteady.
you could headbutt enemies when you're interrogating them. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, I
Or
imagine
it could be
follows
one of
the
the, like-
storyline in Arkham, maybe, since it's Batman Arkham. So
Or like it could be one of the third person like VR things that they've been talking about. Like we didn't see any of those. Everything was first person.
yep,
True.
everything was first person. Then the Final Fantasy 15 thing was kind of confusing. So it was like Final Fantasy 15, then it said Final Fantasy 15 VR experience, and like play as Prompto, September 30th.
The VR
2016.
experience is separate from the thing.
So it's the dude with the gun.
That's what it
you
looked
can
like.
only be that dude and like teleport around the place and shoot stuff. That was kind of like
Because Square Enix was like, hey, the guy
disorienting.
you hate, you get to play as him because reasons. It's like, guys, I've already gone over this. He's like my least favorite character of the entire series ever. So it's like, don't do this.
So I'd
Don't
give this game the award of this is not what you do with a VR game award because yeah, it's just a side thing on a game.
It was kind of
Understood.
creepy that they kept on like they had two scenes with Sid.
yeah in the
Oh
car.
yeah.
Like, let's look at Sid because he's in VR.
Well, if it's from Prompto's perspective, then you have to expect that. He seems like that type. So, gosh, that guy.
And then they showed Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which I was confused on. Is this VR or is this not VR? Because it was in the VR
No,
section
it's
still.
not. It's already
Not
separated.
Ah, dude. Okay, because I like tweeted out maybe I'll get Call of Duty Infinite Warfare as VR, but it's not VR, so that's not happening. And then November 11, 2016, which I already knew, and then it did look better than when we last saw it. 'Cause it sucked though. 'Cause I thought it was VR because like they had like the space section, and like you're in the thingies, or you're in like the fighters going to like some other ship, and then you get out of the ship, shoot stuff, and I was like, ooh, is this all VR? This looks really good, but it wasn't VR apparently. So now I'm sad. And a lot of space, or a lot of zero-G fighting with assault rifles, like we talked about. It's all small arms because no laser guns yet. So maybe that's what makes Call of Duty until they put lasers in. And there's explosions.
Actually, how does that work in space? I'm trying to think about
I talked
it.
about that one time, but I didn't tweet Neil deGrasse Tyson because I was like, whatever. So it's not like it matters. So it's like realistically, we would go. You the momentum of the bullet would push you back and whatever. So
Yeah, that would
This is
just be
no gravity in
that would be
space.
extremely chaotic. That would be like all over the place.
Let's see. And then Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and Warped are coming to PS4. Oh, that was a cool part when they like did the thing on the stage with like the projector and like,
Yeah.
the shadow was like Crash's, even though it was not Crash walking across the stage.
That was really
Sean
cool,
Layden
actually.
was there. Yeah, that Sean Layden was like the one walking, and then like he had his like Crash's shadow behind him as he was walking. That's pretty cool. And then
It said it's being remastered from the ground up, so
yeah, that was weird. It's like, so it's not a port?
I don't think it
Should I
can be.
Should I expect
mean,
more than a port here? Because you
'Cause,
say
I
it
mean-
made from the ground up. That's kind of implying that you did something
They
awesome
didn't say
with it.
ground up. They said remastered.
Oh.
That's it.
He did say
Remastered from the ground up.
It's a PS1
Yeah.
game. Like, how do you remaster
I
a
was just about to
PS1
say.
game?
You would have
with
to just redo
current
it.
graphics.
Do you
Yeah.
like make better load times? Can you even tell? Because load times are load times,
was like-
dude.
You saw his model in the Skylanders one. They're just gonna use that and just like do that in that style.
Maybe.
They would have to, otherwise it's like.
See, this is the problem with doing the show the way they did. It's like you saw all this stuff, but then there's so many questions. And I guess it's totally fine because, this is the day of live stream. They're going to be streaming like for the next 3 days, so I guess we'll learn the information some way. But right now it's like, oh, that's really exciting. I think because I don't know what they mean by that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't one of the people who were all like, "Oh my God, they need to bring Crash back." So I mean, I'm not like overly concerned about it. But
Yeah, that crowd was going nuts. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
I am not one of those people.
I just want to say, 'cause, like, I've played Crash Bandicoot. I don't see what everybody was like wanting it to come back so badly for him. Like I've played like I've played Crash from like Team Racing to all the other random crap he's been in. It's just like I don't know, man. Maybe they didn't like inject me with the magic subliminal messages like they did the other people. But yeah, I wasn't like all super excited about it or anything.
Also, the Resident Evil demo is not on the store because someone on my friends list that is like a really super fan of that game was like, someone tweet me when the demo was on the store. It's like, it doesn't even need to say what the game is because you already know. So it's like, apparently it's not up yet.
Well, so here's some info on Batman Arkham VR. It says it immerses players into the Dark Knight's universe as they experience Gotham City through the eyes of the world's greatest detective. So I guess it's first person. Delving deep into an all-new Batman Arkham mystery, those who enter this virtual reality world must think like Batman and utilize his legendary gadgets to unravel a plot that threatens the lives of his closest allies.
Dun dun dun.
That's crazy. It's exclusively on PS4 and VR in October. And yeah, so I guess that's all we know. But Rocksteady is the one making it. Insane.
Yeah, so after Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and Warped on PS4, they showed Crash Bandicoot and Skylanders Imaginators, which is out October 2016. The month
Yay.
of the yeah. And then they showed Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, which they said is available right now, but I'm like, is it? Because they showed something else that was like available later this... Maybe it's
The
the digital
demo.
version. Oh, demo's out now. Okay, because I was like, is it digital version now? And then the physical copies later? I'm confused. I put available right now, question marks. I was like, full version? Eh. So yeah. When is the game come out? When's the release date?
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, because I was like, cause I remember seeing the trailer for it, like back when they showed it because it was funny. And I was like, isn't that game coming out soon and not out now? So I was like, available right now? What? No, just the demo apparently. So yeah, then Andrew House came out on stage and he's like, legend, something legend, and then Kojima came out on stage and it was awesome because like the crowd reaction was like, you just knew from like the images lighting, and then like as soon as it raised up, like people were just like ah! And like freaking out. So it's like you already knew it was up. And it's like Kojima, and I tweeted it. I was like, oh, Kojima, oh. And like the only reason Yukino tweeted out faster is because she used one exclamation mark. I used like way more because I was like super excited. So I would have got mine out faster, but whatever.
You putting exclamation points?
Yep,
Just
it
like
was
that,
a magical
stupid.
moment. I'd use super more exclamation marks. And then they showed his game, and we finally know the name, Death Stranding, and it has Norman Reedus in it. So yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like
sort of-
weird
It
as
was
hell.
super weird, batshit insane, but I love it because it's like now Hideo Kojima has the freedom to do that crap, and I can't. And it's like with PlayStation, it's like you're just gonna get like, yeah, he can just do it, and it's like, yeah, please Kojima, just pump out that craziness out of your brain, and we will accept it onto ourselves and bathe in it and stuff. So yeah,
Oh my!
So this was actually, it was pretty amazing that there was anything to show. Like, that was ridiculous because they have a very small team, from what we hear, and
Yeah, in the credits, it
they
was
haven't
like
been
very
working very long. Yeah, it was like the mech designer from Metal Gear. Mark Cerny was the technical guy, and Kojima, and like I think it was like 3 other people. And I don't think anyone expected them to show anything. They may have like come out as like, "Hey, Kojima's with us," but that would really wouldn't have fit with this show. And it was just like, "Oh, Kojima's with us." And
Also, score one for Tekken because I totally caught it in like the pre-show.
They
Here's the
announced
thing.
like pre-theater, like, it's
their
gonna
partnership
be surprise.
like what last year.
yeah,
at
like we knew that
PSX.
part.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was insane that they had something to show, and it was awesome that he's getting to work with Norman Reedus, like he's wanted.
It's like,
Insane.
I'm free of Konami, haha, I can do whatever the f I want.
It'd be nice to know what the game's actually about, though, because
Yeah, we don't. It was like some dude with like some weird umbilical cord to some
trailer.
like fetus that was like, well, I guess baby. It was a very
It was
small
a baby.
baby. I guess babies are small though, so it was a baby. Yeah, and then
It was a dead baby.
and then like the
Yeah.
baby disappeared,
Not
and they're like
twisted.
baby prince like walking away invisibly off of the dude who was already naked. It was weird.
And then he had like the scar on his stomach, like the baby came out of him or something. So I was like,
Yeah.
That was also
Right.
weird.
I was like, this is just getting stranger by the second. Like, what is happening? So
That's not
And there's, like,
biologically
things-
possible.
Things
What
in
is-
the sky.
Yeah,
What
these
is
like
even
weird
happening?
things, these figures, and like a bunch of dead like crabs, fish, and whales, like extinction type imagery going on. Looks like it might be in the
And
Arctic.
floating people in the air.
Yeah, it was weird. Thanks, Kojima. And then
That's what we want. That's
yep,
what we want.
Yep, I'm super satisfied.
Do it, Kojima.
And then a very like weird, I guess like not weird, but like I didn't see this coming. Like Spider-Man on PS4 developed by Insomniac. Is it
Nope.
is it exclusive? Because it said PS4.
It's exclusive.
Yes.
Yes, I'm hoping
So
it's
there's
like
a-
it's like a PS2 or not PS2
No.
Spider-Man 2 style Spider-Man game. I like his new outfit 'cause it's red, white, and blue. So I was like, yeah, America, yeah, USA, USA.
I don't think that was the intention.
And his
I
eyes were
think-
very Civil War-y from the
Yep.
cinematic universe with like the lenses doing that
Yep.
thing that they do.
It looks like there's a lot of freedom to what he can do, so that's kind of a good sign.
On the one hand, I was like, well, I'm kind of sick of Spider-Man, and after Superior Spider-Man, I kind of swore him off. But after seeing this, it's like, I guess I'm going back in because it's Insomniac, and it looks very open. And
Yep.
please be returned to form of Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man, because that was the best Spider-Man. So yeah.
I'm just gonna spend all my time harassing the Daily, not the Daily Bugle. Is that what it's called? That
Yeah.
the newspaper? That one.
Yeah, apparently Sony Interactive Entertainment approached Insomniac about making a Spider-Man game,
Oh, that's right, 'cause they own the rights to Spider-Man. So
and Spider-Man was like, or Insomniac was like, yeah. that was insane. Seeing the Insomniac logo, I was like, oh. And then
the Marvel logo. It's
yeah,
what's
like
this?
the
What's
part
this?
about Queens had not registered in my mind as like what that
True,
is, and then
because
it's
it didn't
like,
hit me until
Marvel,
the Marvel
like,
logo came up. I was like,
kidding
oh,
me?
Spider-Man. Yeah, because it did take
This
me a
is
second
happening?
too.
It was crazy.
Because the voice didn't sound that familiar, so
Yeah.
it's like I was just like, what is this? And then it's like Marvel. It's like, oh.
That was just nuts.
That was for sure a surprise because I didn't even expect that. So that was cool.
It seems so random though. But I was like, I don't know what's going on. It's
Like now, like
oh.
thinking back, like as we're talking about this, so I guess it like is. I mean, it didn't like I said already, like it didn't overperform last year's. It did like totally meet it though. Cause like you got the Kojima game, you got this like out of nowhere Spider-Man game. All the Resident Evil 7 was just like wow. So that's all we did was just one good one. And we got 3 good ones. So yeah. Well, yeah. Also, God of War is like super awesome. I mean, I like tweeted out like secret gamer shame. I've never finished any of these God of War games, but I'm totally pumped for this one. So I got to finish all the other ones now. So thanks for giving me
Yep.
homework. Thanks for giving me homework. Whoever's developing that one. So yeah. And then they finished off with a live Days Gone demo, and it gets nutso. with yeah, you know how powerful the PS4 is. It can pump out a lot of enemies coming at you, and it was like crowds of them chasing you down. I was like, ooh, this is intense. I can't wait to play this game. I was like, man, this is like upping the ante of like the things that could that I find frightening. But I didn't find it frightening. It's just like more intense. So it's like, ooh, bring it on, yeah.
It's like, yeah, you think that scene in The Last of Us was intense, like just ratchet it up like 10%, like 10 times that amount.
Yeah, and then it's like cool because like at the end he kills them all, but they're still coming. It's like, oh, how's he gonna get out of this one? Very well done.
He's not.
Yeah, it was sort of baffling. It's like, why is he even shooting at them? Like,
yeah, why is he
this
just running?
it seems so ineffectual. Like, look how many there are.
That was also cool, like when they would go over something and then like would collapse from all the weight because there's so many of them. That was cool.
Yeah,
Like the wooden bridge thing collapsed and then some other part collapsed. It's like, oh, so much weight. Physics. And there was like some montage thingy at the end with like the band playing, and that was it. The curtain closed because that's the new mic drop for Sony. Is like the curtain like it'll rise at the beginning, you know what's about to go down, and the curtain closes because that's their new mic drop. And they're bringing the symphony every year to like play play the strings after they kill you. Microsoft, sorry, because they did. Oh, and then yeah, that's it. That was that. It's like, ooh, it's kind of cool though, because like in like the montage, cause, like, there's like games that I haven't seen yet. So it's like I want to see some more Deus Ex. I want to see some more. What other game was there? There was like a brief flash of Persona, but that's not my game. So
yep. There was brief flashes of like Paragon was in there. Persona, Skylanders,
Gravity Rush.
Yeah,
Which didn't make it to the show, unfortunately. Because I'm still excited about Gravity Rush 2. But...
See, this is sort of neat now because, like, in the past, and I guess we don't know yet, but I anticipate that the rest of the days of E3 will now be more interesting. Because in the past, you saw all the big stuff during the pressers, and then it was just like. Well, you saw those demos over and over again.
Over the last couple of years is like shifting to like, you know, having other focuses at the other conferences over the lead up to the holidays. So you have like Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like those, and then PSX, which they can just like drop bombs all over the place.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like they might have showed Final Fantasy VII episodic, whatever it's called, whenever it gets a name, and I mean, who knows when we're gonna see Shin Megami 3 again. Who knows? Probably not.
It's now vaporware.
Prime time. So
it looks like the
Crash Bandicoot and a date. That's all that matters. Time to pre-order. Ooh, I wonder if that's on the store. Turning my PS4 on now.
The Crash remasters are supposed to be coming in 2017. Criterion is indeed working on the X-Wing VR experience with DICE. I
gotta say, this did like actually move me closer to getting VR though, because at first I was like, I'm gonna wait this year and set it out, but there are some experiences I kind of want to have, but then it's like, I mean, I have the money anyway, so it's like there's like two parts of my brain that's like out like overriding and like out veto powering the third power that's like, you don't need this taken. But it's like, dude, I got the money, dude, and it looks cool, dude. Look at these freaking X-Wing, dude. It's like, oh no, my willpower is fading. Oh, someone help. Guess we'll wait for them to update the store tomorrow if stuff's not on here.
Yeah, Resident Evil Twitter tweeted out that the demo is out now. So far, I've only seen people downloading it from the Japanese store.
Oh, I'll go to my Japanese account then. And what'll be in Japanese? No!
Are they ever in Japanese? I thought all Biohazard games were in English.
I have no idea. I've never played them in Japanese. Attempted to, I should say so.
Oh, also No Man's Sky. That'll be interesting to see more on that.
Well, it's coming out.
Yeah, it should have been
So-
out next week originally, right? And now
but now it's not. So
7 weeks later,
I'm
it
always
was like,
wondering
there's nothing
why-
left to
what's up and
see.
why it's taking so long then.
well, they didn't show a lot of things.
Oh,
so
actually,
it's like,
no
it's not
no
the
indie
only
game
one.
showcase. They got like sidelined to show the VR stuff. That was weird. 'Cause usually there's like a focus on indie games. There wasn't this year.
Like small indie games,
Just indie games in general.
because like Kojima Productions is now an indie studio.
I think Insomnia technically is too.
Oh yeah,
aren't
good
they?
point. Those
So-
are two indie. Well, actually, smaller indie games. Then they brought in the big guns.
But I mean, you already know they're gonna have stuff. That's not like a new thing for PlayStation.
I'm just saying, it's nice to highlight it. Also, no Gran Turismo, even though they've been like showing, they like showed it off recently at the unveiling.
Mhm.
So
So
There was-
yeah, I think the whole thing was like, not only did they take into account sort of the pacing of the conference itself, it was like each of the games also had to be paced a certain way. You know, God of War was sort of like the slowest paced game that they showed, and then everything else, like once they got to Horizon, like Horizon was moving very quickly, and let me look at my list again. Horizon was moving very quickly. Then you had Detroit, and it was like this very intense thing. And then Resident Evil sort of slowed it down, but it was still like very tense. Then they had a talking thing, so it was like a break from the tension. And then they did a bunch of like the VR stuff. But yeah, like there was no like Gran Turismo tends when they demo it, it tends to be sort of it has this like subdued pace. And nothing that they showed had that kind of pacing. It was just like it was very smooth throughout.
also, yeah, it's like like I just thought about that. Like they didn't bring anybody on for like Call of Duty, which is like usually they bring somebody on. Also, no Destiny,
Yeah.
which is like a super. What's up with that? 'Cause
They-
it's
Oh
like,
yeah,
Well,
that was
They,
weird.
they've been trotting that
already
out like
announced.
every year to be like
They didn't have time for that
exclusivity,
nonsense
Exclusivity.
this
They're
time.
Like, Sony's like so over it. Like "Pff, we got these fools beat. We don't even need to like let's save our ammo.
It was like, you don't even
It's like,
care
did you see them
anymore,
shoot
guys.
themselves in the foot earlier today? Pff, what was that? They don't know what they're doing over there. RPG's right. They're just screaming in their offices. They have no idea. It's complete chaos.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I mean, I guess they could still like show stuff on the floor. So I mean, I guess the conference was mostly for just like their main stuff, and they're
It's a
like, well,
rope-a-dope.
it's like we've done
We'll set
enough,
them up
guys.
at the conference and knock them down on the show floor. Oh,
We've done enough.
Sony, stop!
But I am hoping,
You
like-
heard him too much. Oh, poor Nintendo. Poor Nintendo. Ugh.
Yeah, I forgot about Nintendo. They are still a thing. But yeah, I am hoping like some of the other games do show up on the floor, because otherwise I'm gonna be sad.
Guess I'll
Because
wait for the store to get updated tomorrow. Sad face. Ugh. Whatever.
Yeah, the banner's up on the Asian store, but it's unable. I can't download it.
Huh, weird. Oh, they're showing footage of the Spider-Man game. Is this the same trailer? Oh, it might be the same trailer.
I think it's the same trailer.
Man, I haven't played a Spider-Man game. I don't think since Spider-Man 2. Actually, thinking about it. I didn't
haven't
play
played
the
that
Web
one.
of Shadows or that other one that the Beanox made, so I wanted to. The
Shattered Dimensions.
Yeah. I might have bought those digitally, actually. I have to check my account. I probably did, because that was during the crazy time of Tekken just can't stop.
The only Spider-Man game I've ever played is that one on like the Sega Gen.
Maximum Carnage?
Yeah, that one's like that's the only one I've ever played. So it's like it's been decades now. So
Ah, you missed out. The Neversoft ones in the beginning were like on PS1. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
this feels like Spider-Man. And then yeah, Spider-Man 2 was like not that great in a lot of aspects, but just the motion around the city
Yeah.
was amazing.
the web swinging, because there's like two different modes. There's like automatic and manual. And if you put on manual,
Yep.
it was so good. It was especially like once you got it down, it was like you felt like you're Spider-Man. It was like, oh, sublime. Which is
Other than that, like I think Ultimate Spider-Man was my favorite one.
oh yeah, they did make Ultimate. I played that one. I remember playing that one.
It didn't have like as cool a swinging mechanic, but the game itself was pretty good.
I didn't finish it because it has like that fight with Wolverine at the beginning. That was cool.
All right, I guess that's all the press conferences this year.
Also,
We've
if I
finished
had
our
to rate
Gut
that Sony
Reactions.
conference, I'd give them an A because it was awesome.
It was amazing. It was very entertaining. Not like I wish they would just like release information on the web for you to read as the show was going on because
Info dump.
there's just so many questions I have.
I mean, you might get it like tomorrow. I mean, their press conference
Yeah.
was kind of late, so it's probably like, okay, well, I mean, well, late for us anyway. But it's like you'll
Oh, it
probably
wasn't
get, like,
super
more-
long.
Yeah,
was
that's a
pretty short.
surprising thing. I was like, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Sony's usually go like on forever. It's like church or
Yeah.
something. And then it's like
At the beginning,
no,
he
that's
was like,
it.
"Oh, for the next hour." I was like, "It's gonna be an hour," and it was like a little over an hour. It's like, wow, that's pretty good. Although I was sort of like, I don't want it to end. I want to see more stuff.
I know. I was like, oh, it's ending. The curtain's coming down. Oh, and they said, yep, we're gonna just play this last demo. The band's gonna play us out. I was like, ah, whatever.
They'll probably be
I was
on the-
satisfied though.
they'll-
So
There'll probably be news stories as the week goes on with more information. This is more of just like to get your like your appetite going or whatever.
That was just like 3 days of live streams, basically. So, yeah, that is the pre-E3 stuff.
boom.
And now the fun starts.
And the pre-ordering. And
Well, I mean,
the pre-ordering.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
I think RPG is done with that.
I just about to say I've already pre-ordered like everybody I need at this point, so I think I'm good for now. But, yeah. And then I'll start pre-ordering my 2017 stuff once I go pick up Persona next year. So it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, I guess I better start getting some progress on those God of War games so I can play the new one.
Yep.
Something
Do
to
it.
do.
You've never played any of them?
I've played them. I just haven't finished them. Got stuck on a puzzle on the
Okay.
first one, and then I want to play them in order. So it's like I didn't bother after that one. So yeah.
None of them are that complicated for you to be stuck on a puzzle.
I'm trying
Well,
to.
you're talking to Mr. Door, so you know.
All right, good point.
It may
'cause I
not
mean,
have been a
even-
puzzle.
Shut up, Trioptical.
Like, I can't open this door. Why are there doors in this place? It's like, I'm a Tekken. Because, like, even I finished 1 and 2. I mean, I haven't played 3, but, I mean... yeah. 4 looks like it might... Well, I don't know if they're calling it 4, because they're just calling God of War, but...
Yep.
It
Just
looks like
instead
it'll
of an
be-
omega, it's a rune engraved thingy.
It's Norse. So that should be funsies. That should be funsies right up until when the kid dies, because it's gonna happen. One of the two of them is gonna die, and then it's like, oh no, why? It was pretty hilarious when the kid shot him by accident, though. Like the look on Kratos' face, like seriously. Seriously. It's like I am so sorry.
Like, this
I
is my son.
Hesitated. You did not
a wimp.
hesitate.
My son is a wimp.
It's like Kratos, he's like 8. He can't it's like he's not like used to murdering stuff. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's like finish it. I can't do it.
It's like,
Let
oh
me
my
help
gosh, I
you.
am such a wimp. It's like, Dad, most kids just like play in the yard. I don't understand. I don't understand why I have to kill things. Let's go ahead. Let's have it. So,
Alrighty, well that's the end of the conferences this year and our gut reactions to them. It was a fun time, and I can't wait for next year. E3 2017.
Here, you're gonna have to because it's already too much going on. It's already too much
Or
going on.
I guess bring on Gamescom and TGS and PAX and anything else that I'm forgetting. So yeah, whoopee. So search us on Google on the internet. We should pop up hopefully. Endless Babbles, Endless Podcast. And we'll be back Wednesday with our normally scheduled podcast of what we've been playing and other stuff. And any other news we have of stuff that we find out during E3 week. And until you hear from us again, Aimless Babble Z. And we're now signing off.